Today we're making cloud eggs. Now they look a little bit unique and they look like they're going to be difficult, but they're actually so easy to make that even though this was the first time we've ever made them, we were able to get a little bit experimental and try a few different ways to do them with varying degrees of success. Some were good and some were not so good. So I'm going to share all of the things that we tested out. But first, let's just talk about a basic cloud egg. They're so easy to do. You can do it in 15 minutes. So let me show you how we do that.
Step 1 is to separate the egg yolks from the egg whites. Now you want to keep each of the egg yolks separate from one another, but you do want to combine all of the egg whites. Then you take all those egg whites and you mix them until they form stiff peaks. Then they're going to go in the oven, but before that we made a little mistake using this spatula because of the way the egg kind of works. You're better off getting more of a curved spoon to get the egg white into the shape that you really want it. It is important that before it goes in the oven that you press down to create a little well in the center because you need enough space for the egg yolk to go in there later. Now there's not a lot to do now. The egg whites go in the oven for 8 minutes, and after that you take them out of the oven, gently pour the egg yolks into the wells that you created in the center of each of them, and then you just put them in the oven for another 3 minutes, and that's it. It's so easy. So that's why we decided it's time to get a bit creative and try a few different things. So chopped up ham and cheese was our first choice, thinking along the lines of a bit of an omelette. And this one worked okay. I definitely think you could give it a try.
Now I had this idea that I wanted to try beetroot because I thought that the colour would have looked really striking and be really interesting. But I learned something really important in doing this, and that is that there was almost like too much water in that. And so while it looked okay, it was more difficult to take up off the baking sheet once it had been baked. And it didn't taste that good. The texture wasn't good. It just wasn't good. But that sort of led me to my next experiment, which was, well, how can I get this purple colour without it like ruining the egg white? So I actually just did a little splatter just on top of the egg whites before they went into the oven. And this definitely worked better. It just added that interesting purple colour, like something a little bit more unique. What I think I might try next time is actually doing the purple splatter of beetroot juice after the first bake, because it did go a little bit brown, and I think that if you were to put it on later, it would still retain a bit more of its colour. So that's what I'm going to try next time, I think.
So I hope you've enjoyed our little cloud egg adventure. I'm definitely going to make them again, and I'm interested in thinking about other creative, kooky ways to change up this recipe and make it a little bit more interesting. So if you have any ideas of what you might be doing with them, please share it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what your ideas are. I do think my favourite was the pink splatter eggs, to be quite honest. I just think they were the most unexpected and unusual. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again in the next one.